know. I
You have to
know.
let me introduce the show first. I'm Eric
Oh,
Stephen Allen. We got Joe Drilling.
I'm here and I'm playing Zelda on my Wii U gamepad while we're talking about this.
And we also have Anthony Rogers. The
I'm
Drilling.
also here playing on my
I'm
Wii U
here and I'm playing
gamepad as
Zelda
we
on my
talk
Wii
about
U
this.
gamepad while we're talking about this.
Um,
And you already kind of introduced Coffee, but
yeah, Morbid Coffee's here too.
yeah, I'm
He's the
here.
one.
I'm the hero of Climb.
Turn your head in coffee.
uh,
I'm having a hard time like getting this set up so I can look at my TV and still sort of be talking into my microphone.
He's playing portable mode.
I can't do that and stream at the same time because you have to be docked. This is actually so setting up the stream is literally the first time that I've played this docked. So I decided when hey, what's up, little buddy? I decided that when the Switch was announced, or like about a week before the Switch came out, that I was just gonna go to stores and see if I could find one on the day it came out. And I was sort of counting on the fact that they wouldn't have any, so that way I wouldn't have to buy one. And then I went to Target, and like the local Target that's 15 minutes away from my house, and they had 8 of them at 11:30 in the morning on Friday. So I ended up buying one.
I decided
copy
I
of
was going to do
Zelda.
that, but wasn't actually going to physically go to a store.
Oh,
I did call my Target showed them in stock like 2 days later,
yeah.
and I called and the guy was like, "Yeah, we sold the last one like an hour ago."
Yeah. Oh, also, so I will say that I've probably played
So
about
I
50
blew it.
hours of this game. I've beaten one of the dungeons. I've done a bunch of shrines.
Is there a way to tell how many hours you've played?
I think it's tied to your profile in some way. You can see that I have like one full other stamina bar plus a little bit of the next one. So if you're really sensitive to spoilers in a game like this, which is like in a traditional sense hard to spoil but easy to spoil if you're like really sensitive about experiencing things, you could just listen to us talk and turn the video off. I also, depending on how this whole thing goes, like might put this up as a podcast or something. So
well, I think we're going to talk more about
Yeah,
this
it's
game a lot because I'm only like maybe 3 or 4 hours into it. Like,
right.
I just got off the plateau, which, like, no spoilers. That's like literally the first thing you do in the game is
Right.
like
You can't.
you're
there's
trapped on
you're
this plateau.
right.
You can't leave. And you have to do a certain number of things and get a certain number of tools, which is a really clever way to give you the tools you need to sort of take on the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Like much like Zelda Link Between Worlds, actually, you get access to all of your utility items right up front. Like you get once you finish that stuff on the plateau, you have bombs and you have like magnet power, which is like a new thing, and you have
It's sort of
stasis
it's like it's sort of
power
like
and-
the glove, the power glove kind
Yeah.
of, but not exactly.
Yeah, I actually so one of the things that's been really driving me crazy about this game is the non-specific way that people talk about it. Like it's all really like grand language that doesn't mean a whole lot, and it sort of does the game a little bit of a disservice, I think, just because it so it what it is the least dissonant open world game that I've ever played. Which seems like a weird thing to say, but usually there's always some kind of weird jank in world games. Like not just jank in that like they're broken, like the scorpions in Fallout are below the earth and it looks like their tails are little periscopes or whatever. But there's always like this weird disconnect between how you interact with the world and like what your characters say that they're doing and what you're actually doing as a player. And this game sort of does away with all of that in like a lot of really brilliant ways. And I think that's the thing that makes this a special game more so than just the size of the world. Like you look at a game like a Skyrim or a Witcher or whatever, and typically to get from point A to point B, you kind of have to find a path, like, or you have to kind of try and cheat the system by like running up a spot that you're not really supposed to be running up. And Nintendo just said like, fuck it, we're gonna make Link this super sticky boy, this sticky boy who's like playing with
Spider-Man.
himself all the time, and he just sticks to fucking everything. You can just climb up whatever the fuck you want. So
Yep.
you can literally just hold up on the control stick and go to a place and just run into a mountain and just climb up the side of the cliff or whatever.
Yeah, which is the thing that I love about it over Metal Gear Solid 5.
Right.
Because there was always a place where I was like, I feel like I should be able to get over this mountain like with relatively little difficulty. But Snake, the greatest soldier in the world, big boss, can't climb like a 2-foot high ridge of rock, and it's really fucking annoying.
Yeah.
That's what I really like about this game, though, is it sets you up with those tools, like you said, and this game is not afraid, sort of like what you're saying, like it's not afraid to let you break it. Like it's not breakable because it's not trying to stop you from doing stuff.
Right. If you think there's something cool to the northeast and that's where you want to go, then you can just go there. You might not have very much success because there might be enemies that are too tough for you to face or whatever, but you can just do it if you want. And there's even times
even that I think is balanced. I mean, yeah, you can't take a lot of hits,
Right.
but if you manage to take down an enemy in the area, you'll get their weapon, and then you can start dishing out proportionally higher damage.
Right, but you won't have a lot of things kill you in one hit early in
Right.
the game. Pretty much everything
Just
kills you.
you
in
got to
one
get
hit.
good.
Even the shitty dudes kill you in one hit.
Yeah, get good,
early
scrub.
on. Yeah.
But I do like that, like, once I've moved into an area and I start collecting weapons from those guys, it's not as hard of a climb. Like I don't feel like I've wandered an area where I've just been totally boned.
Right. You
Other
never
than
have to
finding
level
some
up.
other than some of the bosses that you can just find on the map that
Right.
like break you.
High
but-
Noxes. Yeah.
So I'm just still like I went off the beaten path, I went off of where it tells you like you finish the plateau
Yeah.
and the guy is like, go do this,
Go
and
check
I was
out
like,
Kakariko
nah,
Village.
right, and I was like, I was like, there's this thing over here I want to check out instead. And I did that, and I got my ass kicked like once, and then I was like, okay, I got to be a little more careful with these new enemies, and then like it wasn't that big of a problem.
Yeah, that's actually so. One of the things that I don't like about this game is I think the combat is way too easy and way too. It's just like super basic Ocarina of Time combat for the most part, where you just lock on and strafe and circle around them and dodge their attacks and counterattack. There really isn't much more to it than that. I know that there is like one of the things that I enjoy seeing the gifts of the wild shit that happens, but like that is a very small portion of your combat interactions in this game actually play out in a way that is entertaining like that, unfortunately. You know what I mean? Like every once in a while you'll fight a fire chew and it'll start the grass on fire and a bokoblin will show up and it'll start his club on fire and like all kinds of crazy shit will happen. But most of the time you can just, walk up to a dude and lock onto him and kill him in a couple hits and it ain't no thing.
Yeah, when do I start getting weapons that don't break all the goddamn time?
Never.
That's what I really want to know.
You never do.
Never.
Yeah, but just
But
don't.
I think
worry
that's
about
good.
It, dog.
It makes you not stick to the same thing,
Right.
and it makes you have to at least try new stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like it a lot because I feel like if you run across a bunch of weapons that never break, then you'll just use those ones.
Yeah. There's only a handful of weapons that are really like different. It's not like Dark Souls where there's a myriad different weapon types that all have different attack animations. There's like one-handed swords, there's spears, and then there's like two-handed weapons, some of which attack overhead and some of which attack side to side, but for the most part it's pretty much the same. It's just the damage output that changes. But
Right, but
there's
I
just
mean,
no
like, I don't know,
point. You
weapon
just don't have to-
degradation is a thing that has always just
Yeah.
like it just never sits well with me. It never gets over with me in the way that I feel like whoever they want, you know what I mean? Like the game developers want it to work in a certain way, and I'm just every time I'm like, I hate this. It's super annoying. If they like literally weapon degradations would stop me from finishing Vagrant Story, which everybody talks about how great that game is, and it just annoyed me to no end that my weapons broke constantly.
Yeah, I would say that in this game that really just doesn't matter because of the because you rotate weapons in and out all the time. It's not like you're making a weapon that you're attached to, and then like the weapons don't last long enough to have meaning beyond the few times that you use it, right? So it's just like
exactly.
Right. They instead of worrying about if it's going to degrade or not, you just use it and you find a new weapon. Like you don't want to use your best weapons against like red bokoblins or whatever. But there really isn't. There's no upside to like worrying about your your weapon status all
So
the time.
I'm not at a spot where I can like craft anything yet.
You
so,
never
like,
can. As far
You never
as I
can?
know.
Okay,
You might
well,
be
so,
able to
like,
buy
what
stuff later, but like all the weapons that I have, are all stuff that I've found.
Well, okay, because I was gonna say, well,
Can-
you've got all those like all that amber and all that stuff that you find. Like it sort of seems like there's some sort of crafting system.
There's an upgrade system that you can unlock. Not for weapons, but for armor, and the armor uses a lot of that stuff. But there is a specific shop that uses those jewels to get more armor and stuff.
Okay. So there is a point to collecting all that shit, other than just selling it for...
You can sell it, like it's the easiest way to make money. There are other cheap ways to make money, which I may have abused.
Yeah.
You don't say.
There's so I don't know how much I can say because I really don't want to spoil anything, but even then it's like minor spoilers. Did you get to Hateno Village?
I've been there, yeah.
Or Anthony likes
I
to call
have
it
not.
Hateno.
No.
I have.
So, that village alone has maybe like 55 apples in it, and all you have to
Okay.
do is just put 5 apples in a cooking pot. You can sell that food for 50 rupees. So you just use all the apples to make the food and then sell all the food, and you basically are rich.
Hmm. Like okay.
So wait, so speaking of that village, that's why I was talking. So that's why I was talking about Okami, or why I was thinking about it earlier. The first village in Okami was like still one of my favorite villages in a game. It's just like all the different people that living in there. They all have like weird personality quirks, and they all look fun, and they're kind of cartoony. And when I got to Hate No Village,
Hatino?
it was the exact same feeling. It was like all these people are wandering around and they're doing stuff, and it was like a cartoony kind of nice village, and I don't know, it was just like there was so much personality packed into those few houses. It's like
That's why I like
it's
this.
I don't know, like I like the Nintendo charm.
I've
And it's
sworn
everywhere.
off open world games lately because a lot of them bore me, but I think the personality in this game is what makes me like it.
Yeah,
It's an open
anything-
world
I
game
hate
because
talking
it's
to
the
the find-
villagers in this game. It's so empty compared to The Witcher 3. Like,
yeah, but
there's-
compared to like other open world games, you don't talk to
So,
them and then they just give you a blank stare,
yeah, I
A
like
guess.
staring
coworker-
into your soul.
But it's
a
just
guy
like
I work
that's an
with-
all I
art
want
style
is the
thing and
goofy
not a
Nintendo
like
personality.
a dialogue thing. Like, I don't know.
I
don't
don't
want-
work with
well-
though mentioned like it's empty compared to The Witcher. Like he said the exact same thing, and I'm like,
Right.
well, yeah, but like
It's very
in this
different.
game, there's a reason. Like they explain why it's empty, and it's because Ganon fucking killed a shitload of people.
Right, but it's also not that this is so there's like different kinds of open world games too. There's like The Witcher is an open world RPG, and I would not describe this as an RPG, right? Like The Witcher, like fully half of the appeal of The Witcher is getting into dialogue, right? Like that's a game that's very much an ant farm where there's all these weird political things going on, and you're just kind of a dude that like you're an especially powerful dude, but you're still just a guy, kind of, and like you
Well,
have
isn't Geralt like a legendary? Isn't he?
you have a disproportionate
Monster
effect on the
slaying
events
and-
around you, but you're still like swept up in those events, whereas this game is like more of a terrarium where you're just like climbing over everything and looking at everything, but it doesn't like there is no like goings on in this game outside of what Link is doing for the most part. Like the characters
How-
move around in the villages, but they're like there's no like broader meaning to it. But basically, this whole world has been static since the big story event happened, and they've just kind of been waiting for Link to show up and save the day, like in all the other Zelda games. But
How much of that is contributed to Geralt actually being able to talk?
right, well, that's what I
Like
mean.
being
Is
a silent
that
protagonist.
that's an RPG. It's a dialogue focused game, and this is a
Yeah.
very different thing.
Well, Link isn't totally silent. I mean, Link talks. He
grunts.
you just don't actually. Right.
Ah!
I mean, you have dialogue options just because he doesn't have a voice actor.
Right.
You know, you
That's true.
still have.
He can be snarky or nice, and that's pretty much it. It isn't. It is not an RPG though. Like it's just like you're basically saying yes or no, They're
Who are you
they're very
and buy?
different. To me, they're very different types of games. Like this is more. Honestly, like I said, this game is so elegant in the way that it does a lot of the stuff that it does, and the way that it has so little dissonance amongst those, that this is kind of a totally different kind of open world game. There isn't anything quite like this. If nothing else, just because of the fact that you can climb up everything and just kind of go wherever you want.
And it's like literally like any mountain you see, you can get to the top of it. Like anything.
That's one thing that I really like. Like, there's always that promise of like, oh, you see that mountain over there, you can go climb it, and it's like,
it's
okay.
not like it's not
But
like
in this game, like, no, you like really, you see that mountain over there, you can go climb it.
it's not like Ocarina of Time where like Hyrule exists within a circle of mountains.
This is the 4th time that I've saved these people, by the way.
That
Just talking
happens a
about what
lot.
I'm doing the stream. Like, I've run by this ruin like 3 or 4 times, and every single time they're being attacked by the goblins.
I've come to just ignore those because a lot of them don't even give you rewards.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's just the right thing to do, Paul. Okay.
Yeah.
But they're gonna break my weapons.
Like I said, you can't care about your weapons. There's gonna be new weapons.
I have so many good weapons, though.
Yeah.
So
I have a house that I can store my weapons in.
Well, are there like 7 Master Swords in this game or what? Because I mean,
I have not found the Master Sword yet, although apparently it does exist. Because
It does exist.
Hey, you know all that shit that's in Zelda games? It's all in this game.
it's all in this game too.
There's Zoras and Gorons and all that shit. Spoilers.
well, no, there was something that wasn't. I don't remember.
What's that?
There's something I was like, wow, this is totally different from a Zelda game, but I don't remember what it was. Oh well. In any case, like I was saying, like Ocarina of Time, the map is basically a circle of mountains, and in this game, if you found a circle of mountains, you would just go over them.
Right. Yes. Although
Like
that's not actually. Maybe this is a spoiler too. Although the map does have like weird edges to it that you
It
can't
does.
go past. There's like there's one place where it's just like, here's an infinite giant hole that you die if you try to go to the bottom of.
Oh, great.
My first
So-
wall yesterday, I was climbing up like some snowy mountain, and the mountain's listed on the map, and I'm like, I wonder what's up there, and I try to get up there, and it just pushes me off the wall and says, you hit the limit, you can't go any further.
All
right, well-
The Witcher 3 has a great line, and I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's like, I can't remember what it is, but there's a great line in The Witcher 3, and then it just like it puts you into like fast travel mode, and you can just fast travel to anywhere in the world that you've already been to if you hit the edge of the map in that game. So what was I gonna say? So the one thing that I think is the thing that bothers me the most about like the conversation around this game is that I continuously hear that it never runs out of new things, and I don't think that that's necessarily the case, and it doesn't always reward you for going and checking out a new thing. Like a lot of times I'll go to the top of a mountain and there's like one of those little dudes that gives you the seeds, and that's it, and it's just like I spent 15 minutes climbing up this fucking mountain, and you're gonna give me a seed for more inventory space, but like I played 50 hours of this game and I don't need more inventory space. I'm all set as far as that's concerned at this point. And it's just like it's sort of disincentivizing me from climbing all of the mountains. I'm trying to be a little bit more bit more
Choosy.
careful at this point. Yeah, so that way I don't waste my time climbing something that doesn't have a shrine or something really good at it on the top of it.
Yeah. So how does this? So I got this shrine detector thing.
Yeah.
There are 100 shrines in the game. Is that what I've heard?
120 total.
120, and they each have a like. Okay, so the first 4 have a thing that like there's bombs and there's
Right.
whatever.
Everything you get on the plateau is what you have to beat the game. None of the other shrines actually give you any specific like tools like that, but
Right.
they may grant you weapons in them. So
Yeah,
all of
there's
them have
usually
like
either-
secret
Sorry, go ahead, Coffee.
A lot of them have like an extra puzzle or an optional puzzle to do that will grant you a new weapon. Sometimes it's garbage weapons. Sometimes it's
Yeah,
really good.
there's at least from what I've seen, there's at least one like hidden treasure chest.
Yeah.
in addition to finishing the puzzle itself.
Yeah, often there's many of them. There's also
Oh.
like some of the shrines have really good armor. So if you see the armor, I don't know if any, probably none of you guys are actually watching the stream, but the armor I'm wearing right now is climbing gear
set,
that makes
yeah.
me like climb really fast. And I was lucky to stumble upon a piece of that early, and then the direction that I want, I sort of found the other two pieces, and it increases your climbing speed. Not a lot, but it is a significant amount. So there's like special armor sets that increase your, like, I think there's like a piece someplace that you can buy that increases your stealth ability, which makes it easier to sneak up on dudes and capture horses and things.
I have 2 days ago. I was exploring the desert area. Spoilers: there's a desert,
Yeah.
and I came across
I
like this.
just found it.
Oh,
like,
no.
just now.
I came across this labyrinth area, which was pretty cool
Hey,
because it
man.
was literally I
That
had to
might be an
run
actual
through.
spoiler.
Oh no!
Yeah.
But it literally had me running through a labyrinth, trying to find my way around where like certain areas were like cut off by the calamity again and goop or whatever you want to call it. And that rewards some pretty good armor at the end. And apparently, there's 3 of them in the world. Each one of them grants you a new
Different
piece of
pieces
that
of
armor. But like finding that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Because I saw it on my map, like I climb up the tower, and I'm like, that looks cool. I'm gonna go over there.
Yeah,
And
yeah, that's pretty much what this game is. You try and climb up to a high place and then see if you can find some shrines or something else that looks interesting.
Oh my
and
god,
you
this
go
game
there.
is so bad about like, I'm gonna go do this, and then like an hour later, I still
Distracted.
haven't done it.
Yeah. I'll say I completed one of the dungeons and I was a little disappointed in that whole rigmarole. Maybe the other ones are better. I don't know. We'll see. And also, I'm kind of sick of doing some of the shrine puzzles too at this point. Like, I've kind of seen all that they have to offer. And there's some that are physics-y puzzles, kind of like Half-Life 2 style, and those, I really can't deal with those anymore. I just don't want to try and roll a ball into a thing. And there's some that are motion controlled. There's like a really famous GIF of one,
motion controls are the worst
and the
one.
motion controls are so fucking bad. They're like, man, like there's those areas in like Super Mario Galaxy 2 where you have to like, where Mario is standing on a
Oh
ball and you have
god,
to hold the
standing
Wii
on the
remote up.
thing, yeah.
There's some puzzles in some of the shrines that are kind of like that, only like 1,000 times worse than the ones in Mario Galaxy.
Yeah, I've done one of those.
Yeah.
There's the thing I like about the shrines though is like they set out the solution for you, but there's other ways you can do it that sort of break it, and the game just lets you get away with that. So
Right, yes, that's really cool. Yeah.
one of the puzzles.
That's why that GIF is going around, right? Is because like
It-
turns the
That's not
map
even the one I
upside down and
want to
then-
refer to because like everyone knows that one. That's like one of the first ones you come across.
Yeah.
I found one that required me to like make this electric current go from one side of the room to the other using metal objects.
Yeah.
But rather than solve it the intended way, I just dropped my metal weapons on the currents, and it
yeah.
carried the electricity through the thing without having to open any of the doors.
Have you guys all seen? Has everybody experienced thunderstorms?
Yes.
No, not yet.
Okay, thunderstorms are fucking wild, man.
had a-
Yeah, I fought a lightning guy.
A lightning guy, huh?
I
I
had
fought a lightning whiz robe
Yeah.
during a lightning storm, and there was fucking lightning everywhere. I couldn't even see what was going on.
I think they
I
can
had a-
summon lightning. I think those whiz
Yes.
robes can like summon lightning storms. Actually,
They summon storms
Yeah.
wherever you are, but I
another
had
big.
lightning actually save me in one fight, which was
Oh,
hilarious.
did it hit a dude?
Again, I don't. How many like spoilers stuff?
I mean,
Get away with
I
how
don't
much?
know. If it just hit a guy, that's okay to say.
So
I wouldn't say. Don't say anything specific. Just if it just
well, you know, like the travelers that technically aren't like travelers. Have you ever come across
I
those?
literally just fought one, but I'm really
So
joking.
yeah, I was
I
fighting
think
one
I
of.
know
Just
what
say
you're
you
talking
just say
about
you
too
were
now.
fighting a dude and you got hit.
I was
you got hit by
fighting
lightning.
a guy who ambushed me in the thunderstorm, and I've never fought him before. I've never seen anything like that before. I'm like, oh shit! Like trying to dodge, trying to survive. He gets me down to 1 health.
Yeah.
All my weapons are breaking because I just got out of another fight after I got ambushed.
Uh-huh.
I'm just like, fuck, I'm gonna die. Suddenly, lightning just comes down and fucking strikes him and kills him in 1 hit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's cool. And I run over and just take all his shit, and suddenly I have full arsenal again.
Joe was
lot
asking, you were asking about how the shrine detector works. Basically, it will make that little plink plink noise or make your controller vibrate if you're running in the direction of the shrine.
Right.
And I don't know if it gets a little stronger as you get closer, but you can kind of tell if you're going in the wrong direction by that. But it's a very like broad thing. It just sort of like gives you an idea that you might be getting close to a shrine.
I thought it was annoying, so I turned it off pretty much immediately.
I like it because I like finding shrines because it gives me more, because the shrines are what you use to upgrade your stamina, and stamina is the thing that lets you climb mountains easier. Like that's the thing about the climbing is and we kind of circled around back to it, I guess, but the amount of stamina that you have at the beginning of the game is very limiting, and it makes it very difficult to actually make any progress on some of the higher peaks unless you're really clever and really careful about how you...
I mean, you could abuse food too. You could just make the stamina food because you can
Sure.
actually eat while climbing.
I also hate the cooking in this game. I think the cooking is bullshit, and I wish that that I could just like pick things out of a menu and not have to hold them and throw them into a fire every time.
I agree with that, but I do like cooking anyways.
I would love it if the first time you made
find it
something,
charming.
you had to put a bunch of apples in your hands and then drop them into a pan. But like I've just
The
been
8th time or whatever. Like,
yeah, like for me, like the other night, I spent like 40 minutes just making potions because I had so much shit in my inventory. And it was just one of those things where I just like, could I just please just use a menu for this? This would take half as long if I could just like make a thing and then know how to make the thing and then just pick it off of a list. It would be so much better.
It's immersive.
No, it's not. It's just a waste
No,
of time.
it's not. The inventory in this game is like one of my major gripes,
Yeah.
especially dropping weapons when you find something new. Like, there's an easy way to get rid of your weapon,
You can
but there's
throw
no
it.
easy way to get rid of your bow and shield.
Yep,
So you have to
go
through
into
your
the menu.
menus to get rid of that shit. Pick a new one up.
The menus
That
are just
frustrates
bad.
me.
The menus look a lot like menus that they made for the Wii U tablet and then took all that functionality out because they wanted to put it on the Switch. But I think they could have left some of that in. Like if I could navigate my menu with my finger while I was playing in tablet mode, that would be totally
That'd be
rad.
great.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why the Switch wouldn't be able to do that when it's docked.
Well,
Though
'cause
I don't have one, so I don't.
you can't touch the screen when it's docked because the screen is covered up by the dock.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Got it.
This
I mean,
is,
they could always.
but like I've been playing it pretty much entirely in tablet mode. And that's like the thing that's cool about the Switch is that it is a super powerful handheld system. I think it's way too skinny. Like ergonomically, it really sucks because of how skinny it is. It makes it hard to hold and very exhausting to hold for long periods of time. But it's still totally fine and cool. Like I'm really looking forward to seeing once they really get rolling with a lot of the indie stuff that I'm really hoping is like Nintendo's focus. Like I don't care if this has big, third-party releases or whatever, but if they get the next Spelunky and the next Darkest Dungeon and all those sorts of games on here, like that will have justified my Switch purchase.
That's one of the
1,000
things I've
fold.
seen as like a major selling point for a lot of people is it seems like the Switch is going to be the new Vita, as in if I can get these games portable instead of having to sit at my TV playing it on a console, I'd rather have it on the Switch.
Yep. That's exactly how I feel about it.
So one thing that I think is super dope is they are unlocking the region bullshit for, which is sort of similar to the
that's
Vita
cool.
had a lot of weird sort of offbeat Japanese games on it, and
You can just get those and have
you
them
can
and play
just
them.
and so now like you can it's more like PS3 or PlayStation Network, I guess, in general, which is like you have to create a Japanese Nintendo Network account, but you can just add it to your Switch, like
That's
which
cool.
you can't do on your 3DS or your Wii U.
That's cool. I like that. Yeah, it's really easy to get stuff from the store. I think you still need to buy Japanese points cards
Probably
to
But,
actually
like, there
buy
are
stuff,
places-
but
like I'm sure like SolarisJapan.com sells PlayStation Network Japanese points. I'm sure that once Wii points or Switch points are available, they will also start selling those. Like, you know,
So
and there's like a very minimum markup on that shit too. Like they sell them pretty much at almost the exact exchange rate.
yeah. So Joe and Anthony and Coffee, how do you guys like it on the Wii U? Is it doing pretty good for you for the most part?
It has technical
Yeah.
issues, but it runs fine.
Okay.
Well, so doesn't it has technical issues on both versions, doesn't it?
Right.
On the
portable
handheld
version, no.
mode of the Switch, it runs like the frame rate drops a little bit, but not noticeably, especially not on that little tiny screen. And this is, like I said, this is the first time I've played it docked, and it looks fucking good, man.
So I haven't noticed any frame rate issues since playing on the tablet since we've been talking for the last 35 or 40 minutes.
It still does.
But
certain areas, the areas aren't the same across platform. Like the areas that the Wii U has issues with, the Switch doesn't, and then vice versa.
Yeah.
So it's weird how it determines that. A lot of it seems like loading in assets.
Yeah,
Like
I
there's
heard
different
that it
loading
might have
zones
had
between the two systems.
Something to do with like the way that the texture filtering works changes
Yeah.
how it determines which version of the game has the frame rate drops in different
But
places.
Apparently, playing the portable version of the Switch,
Yeah.
like playing it in tablet mode, it turns off a lot of the effects that cause the issues on the consoles.
Yeah,
And there's no way to like manually disable that. It's just if you play on portable Switch, you have a better experience because there's a lot of particle effects that are off that are causing the frame rate issues.
Yeah, but-
like I get a lot of frame dips when I'm in a fight with like 4 more enemies and I like kill 2 of them at the same time. The frame rate just drops.
yeah. I think the difference is though when you're playing on a TV. I mean, if you're playing on the Wii U tab, it's different. But if you're playing on a TV, you notice like if the texture filtering has been scaled back or if the particle effects aren't as good. Whereas you could probably shut some of that stuff off in the tablet mode on the Switch, and it doesn't make a difference to like the overall graphical fidelity of the thing. So I don't. Joe, Anthony, have you guys done anything crazy that you want to get off your chest?
Not really. I haven't come into any crazy situations that I can think of, except for just like, oh, I'm not supposed to go that way. I'm gonna go, or I'm supposed to go this way. I'm gonna go a different way. But like, that's not really like reinventing the fucking wheel or anything. I
highly recommend you just like pick a direction and just go to the edge of the world. Like as soon as you feel comfortable, maybe get a few stamina upgrades first. I don't want to tell anybody how to play this game, but you should definitely like. I got 3 stamina upgrades and a heart upgrade as my first group of upgrades, and that felt really good because, like I said, combat's not that hard, and if you have enough stamina, you can always get away from a combat situation that you don't feel comfortable with, whereas the vice versa isn't necessarily true, and hearts don't help you climb mountains. And that's the shit you want to do in this game, man.
Ooh, Eric,
What?
you got to answer the question that everyone's dying to know,
Okay.
which is you used to talk about how Skyrim was the first game to do mountains, right?
Right.
Does this one?
Do it
How does
better?
this one feel?
I mean, it's
no,
better.
I wouldn't say
'cause-
better. I wouldn't say better other than you can climb anything, but
Yeah, I mean, it's actually, in a weird way, it's worse at mountains than Skyrim, because in Skyrim they fixed some of the weird shit you could get away with in Oblivion and Morrowind, as far as, you know, the classic Elder Scrolls, like find a seam in the geometry and just like jump repeatedly and like slowly levitate yourself to the top of whatever you're trying to get to the top of. So in Skyrim, like you really had to be picky and choosy about how you would path your way up a mountain, and that's how mountains work, right? In the real world, it's fucking hard to get to the top of a mountain, and in this game, it's really easy to get to the top of a mountain. You just stick to the side of the fucking thing and climb.
Just put on your fast climbing clothes.
Right, you just have to hope you have enough stamina, and so, like from that perspective, it's all wrong. But it doesn't really matter. It's just like a different interpretation of how that stuff works.
I have a test for you.
Sure.
You have to climb to the tallest mountain you can find in Breath of the Wild.
Uh-huh.
And then you got to put a bunch of cheese wheels in your hands.
Yeah.
You got to drop them.
Oh shit! You guys, if you're not watching the stream right now, you should check it out.
You're fighting a dude on a horse.
Yeah, hold
You
on.
killed
wait a
that
second.
horse?
Nope, I didn't kill that horse. Check out this fucking
Oh
horse.
shit!
Yep.
That horse
This
is
game has
badass,
bugs.
man.
I actually had a similar glitch.
What is happening? Look at this pink horse.
The
Okay.
game tends to freak out when you put people in places they shouldn't be, which is hilarious. I've had a few of those happen, not with horses, but with the bokoblins.
Yeah.
I blew up a camp, bokoblin camp, with a bomb, and one of them glitched into a barrel.
Yeah.
And apparently that freaked out his entire skeleton to the point where it just deleted the skeleton itself and he was just a ragdoll. And I could just move him around. He had a health bar. He was still alive. But
Good.
he wouldn't interact with me.
Nice.
So I was just dragging him all around the world, being like, look at my friend. I have a goblin friend.
I said there
And
was
he
no
just
jank.
yelled.
There's a little bit of fucking jank in this game, I guess.
Yeah, there's definitely
Yeah,
some
a little bit.
jank.
But it feels
that's fine.
natural. It doesn't feel out of place because the whole game is one big weird Benny Hill chase sequence, right?
How many dungeons are there? Does anybody? How many
Major
dungeons have you
dungeons?
been in? I guess is really a question.
I've done one. Coffee's done two. I think there's
There's four
I think
major
there's
dungeons.
four
not
that I
including
know
the
of.
castle.
There's four that will become obvious to you right off the bat, and if there's more,
Have
beyond
you
that, then I
found
can't
all
tell
four
you.
and just not done them?
I've
You can actually see all four of them on the map.
I've seen all
not-
four of them. Yes.
Not like on the map, but if you look around, you can actually see the dungeons.
Okay,
in the
I've
overworld.
I've seen two of them.
Right. I will say that yeah. There's
But
the
I don't know how to
spoiler.
get to them.
Like if you've played this game and gotten off the main plateau, then you've seen one of them probably at least. But if if you're trying to come into it clean, you wouldn't be listening to this anyway. But like the dungeons are these big weird Shadow of the Colossus style things that. Well, I won't go into any more than that, but there's like these
Right.
big weird Shadow of the Colossus things that constitute the dungeons in this game. So it's not super hard to find them.
So
Yeah.
the thing that's kind of frustrating me right now, and I'm working on solving this like literally as we're talking, but I went to do a thing that was sort of off of what the game wanted me to do, as I said.
I don't think the
And
game
then I
doesn't
was
really
like-
necessarily want you to do anything.
Well,
Everything in the game is optional.
The dude is like, go find this person in this
Right.
village.
He wants you to go find Impa, the
Right.
classic Zelda character. You know all those Zelda characters?
Right. Yeah, they're in this game. But I was like, I'm gonna go do this other thing first, and then I was like, man, traversal in this game kind of sucks because I don't have a horse or anything.
Right.
And like
That's a fair complaint for sure.
that,
when your
like,
stamina
without
bar
a
is low
horse-
and you have no, Sorry, go ahead.
it's like getting around is not fun. Because even with the glider, that uses your stamina to use your glider,
Mhm.
and you have to jump off something high to use it. So it's
Yep.
just like, it's like getting around, and a lot of times like that. Like for me, in some cases, not in all cases, but definitely in some cases, like an open world game can live or die versus the world. Like Infamous, the first Infamous, I love that game so much just because getting around the city was super fun.
Mhm.
Um,
It is a
and-
big time investment to get from point A to point B a lot of times in this game.
So this game doesn't seem like it's as bad as like that's why I stopped playing Wind Waker, because it was such a pain in the ass to get around.
Well, I mean, there's
and I
no
know-
boats or anything like that. so-
Right? No, there's a boat. I saw a boat, motherfucker. Don't
Well,
tell
there
me
is
there's no
there is a
boats.
boat, but
There
it's
are
not
rafts.
like it is not the same as the Wind Waker situation.
It's not a talking boat.
Do you want to show something really stupid on stream?
Yeah, I can.
Okay,
mean, always,
Hang on a second.
right?
So I want to address the thing Joe's talking about though, because I agree with him 100%. There was a point sometime on Monday where I was like, I don't know if I might be kind of almost done with this game. And I mean, I played like 40 hours and that's all I did all weekend was play Zelda. But I was definitely feeling the frustration of not having easy access to a horse, especially coming off The Witcher 3, where you can just literally be anywhere in the whole fucking world and push a button and your horse just magically appears behind you. This game could use something like that, especially the
Oh,
world
so the
is
whistle
really-
doesn't. Once you have a horse, the whistle doesn't automatically bring.
It has a range.
You have to
whatever you
be within range.
And also, if you like climb a mountain or something, the horse won't climb the mountain.
Nope.
So, like, it works kind of, but it's not. It is not like The Witcher 3, where getting a horse, or even like Epona and Ocarina of Time or whatever, where you can just play a melody and the horse shows up. The horses are like an optional thing, and since you want to climb so much, I haven't found the horses to be that useful. But yeah, that is legitimate. That is something that I totally agree with you, Joe. Is that I think I would enjoy this game a little bit more if the world was like 10% smaller, or if Link could run like in The Witcher 3. Geralt runs at like 45 miles an hour, and he has infinite run. And so like if you want to get from point A to point B, even if you're like whatever, if you're like 50 kilometers away, it still only takes you like 15 minutes to run from one side of the map to the other.
You have to find a Doom guy armor.
But in this game, it definitely it takes you like. So like I said, sometimes it takes you 10 or 15 minutes to get to the top of a hill or whatever. Even if you're not being distracted by side stuff, it just takes that long because the run speed is slow and the world is huge. I actually think that the size of the world is a little bit overkill for the amount of stuff that's in it.
It's overwhelming.
Yeah. Well, it's not overwhelming. It just takes too fucking long. Like, I wish that I could get from point A to point B a little quicker. And the way that like the shrines serve as your quick travel sort of takes the burden off of that once you've unlocked a certain number of shrines. But early on, it is a total slog.
I'm trying to do this puzzle right now that is driving me absolutely fucking insane.
Is it a maze puzzle?
It's a maze. Well, no, it's not a maze puzzle. It's in a shrine, but it's like there's this chest. And there's these 2 metal barrels, right? So I grab the metal barrels with the magnet thing, and I bring them up to the platform that I'm on. And then there's this floating platform with a treasure chest on it. And I'm like, okay, I stack the 2 barrels on top of each other, and I climb on top of them.
Magnet? Sometimes
I cannot move the chest with a magnet. Can't move the chest with a magnet. Tried that right away.
Okay.
It's a stone chest.
I think I've done that one, but I don't remember how I did.
So there's these 2 metal barrels, and I'm like, okay, so if you stand on one barrel, you're not tall enough to jump up onto the thing. But if you stack 2 barrels high, you're not tall enough to jump on top of the second barrel. So I'm like, okay, what if I stasis the second barrel and then pull the one out from underneath it and set it next to it and like try to use them as steps? But like the stasis doesn't last long enough to like do that effectively. And I'm just like, this seems like the solution is really obvious, and it's like it's what the thing that I'm trying to do that seems obvious is not working. So like I have no fucking idea.
I think I may have just skipped that chest. Honestly,
this chest.
Yeah. Most of the chests, most of the chests in those dungeons that have actual good stuff like armor or whatever are like the one at the end of the thing that's your reward for finishing the thing. So if
that's sort of what this is. That's
it'll just be on a platform right at
It'll
the
be
end.
right before the shrine itself.
All the armor
right before
pieces that
this
I
one
right
is
before
right before the shrine.
No.
Is it like right in front of the monk guy?
You don't have to.
No.
Yeah. The ones I'm talking
chest.
about. Yeah, the ones I'm talking about are literally you walk past them as you go to the end of the shrine.
Right.
But
well, fuck it. It's all they're all breakable weapons and expendable items.
Right. It's probably some ice arrows or something, which are useful, but
the clothing will always be the last chest in the shrines.
Yeah.
So you're not missing any clothing by not getting the optional stuff.
Yeah.
So you were saying that you buy armor, though, hey?
You can buy
some of
armor.
the
You can
villagers
find
have
armor.
Yeah.
I found a luchador set, which is the
I
best.
saw you posted the picture.
Yeah.
Of that, right? Oh yeah, you tagged me. That's right.
Is that in the
that's how I saw
GERUDO area?
Yeah.
I need to go check that out. I haven't done anything.
It glows in the
to unlock
dark.
The tower.
If you wear it at night, you have like a glowing skull on it.
But yeah. Anyway, yeah. This game is this game is great. This is a great video game.
I'm so happy that they decided to do something new-ish with the Zelda.
Well,
And
I'm
it
just glad
worked
that
out so well.
Well, so this is a thing that I was sort of ruminating on a little bit. Talk about it because we were playing a Genesis game, but like this game actually, it's not. I don't think it's so much that it's doing something new. I actually think it's going back to like OG original ass NES Zelda in a way.
Yeah.
All right, I guess
in
a
the most
3D
basic
Zelda doing
design
something-
concept way. Yes.
Yeah.
But in
I know.
a playing it moment to moment, it is something that is very original for a Zelda game, and also quite original in just the space of like open world action games as well. So
Yeah.
I wanna
good on
know-
Nintendo. Like, even if I didn't like this game, I would love the fact that Nintendo finally made a Zelda game, a 3D Zelda game that does not follow the fucking Ocarina of Time formula. That it's just unbearably stale at this point. And also the fact that you get dropped in that plateau and they're like, there's 4 shrines here, go find them.
Yep.
It's
that
so
was.
refreshing. It's so great. It was so good to just do that. And
I was like, wait, what?
yeah,
But I want to say that's like one of the best things about this game is it doesn't treat you like an idiot. Like it
Yep.
doesn't hold your hand at all.
Right.
It's literally just here you go, figure it out, and
Yep.
it rewards you for like paying attention and looking around and exploring. Like it's not necessarily the best rewards. Like there's a lot of times where you'll be like, oh, I'm gonna do this thing. It's like here you go, here's a metal sword. Good luck.
yeah. I've
then
had that
other
happen a few
times-
times where I climb a mountain and there's just like a shitty sword at the top. I'm like, wow,
I
that
found
was
a-
fucking waste of
I found
time
a
for it.
fucking sweet battle axe by climbing a snowy mountain, and that was cool. But the thing didn't last very long.
I found something else really cool at the top of a snowy mountain, but I'm not going to talk about that because
So did I.
Specific for this. Did you find that too? Did you find it
Did
too,
it?
Coffee?
Did
I
it
don't
involve
know.
a shrine?
And a scale?
Yes.
It involved, yes.
That's as far
Yeah.
as I'm. That's as far as I'm going to go.
I
That
found
was- that
three
was-
of them.
That was pretty cool.
I found an. Yeah.
Anybody got any hot recipes they want to share with me?
Apples.
I mean, what are you
Pineapples.
What are you trying to make?
I don't know.
Joe,
Just
generally,
So-
it seems like the more ingredients you stuff into it, the more it'll heal you.
The interesting thing, I don't know if you figured this out, Joe. There are a lot of buildings and stuff that will have posters with actual recipes for the game on them.
Nice.
There's a couple of them in stables.
Yeah,
like
I
whenever you
just
find a
just
stable.
figured that out tonight. It like there's no prompt or anything. There's just like
It's just
posters
on
with
the wall.
pictures.
I don't know. There's just man, there's so many beautiful vistas and spaces
Uh-huh.
in this game.
Oh, this
That's
is a really
the-
pretty game.
Yeah. it
And
really
again, I
is.
can go to any of the things I see, which is
Yeah.
just bonkers.
Get this raw bird thigh. And,
It generally, the more food you put into the meal, the more it will
Yeah,
heal you.
if you just cook it, you'll get like double the hearts that you would if you ate it raw. And then if
Yeah.
you add like an apple or a mushroom, you'll get those additional hearts added to it. And then there's like lizards and frogs and bugs and flowers and mushrooms and stuff that all have like special bonuses that you can put on
like,
it.
are these horns and fangs I've been collecting?
Those are
Like-
for the elixirs.
Those are for elixirs.
But,
So if you mix a
they-
horn and a frog, you can get like a stamina bonus or whatever.
they do have another use later on, which I will not. Well, I won't spoil
I will-
it
I
because
will
it's actually
also
kind of
say-
cool.
I will also say, Joe, that something that I didn't grasp right away that I wish this game had told me or somebody had told me is that you can't have more than one status effect on one
Yes.
single piece of food. So you don't want to take like a thing that says like boost your cold defense and increases your stamina and mix those together because they will just negate each other and you'll just end up with a thing that refills your heart. And
Oh,
it's-
yeah,
but
that
don't be afraid.
Literally just happened to me as you were saying.
Yeah, don't be afraid.
I cooked an
experiment, though.
an iron mushroom or whatever
Yeah.
with a pepper, and I got nothing out of
Yeah.
it. Which
Yeah, you just
You
get like a
generally
thing that
wanna-
restores your health or whatever.
So you have like a base food. The base food's always going to be like a mushroom, a
right,
fish,
it was
or
like
a meat.
it was meat. It was meat and
Yeah.
a mushroom. Yeah.
Oh, can I complain about this game? It's really hard to be vegetarian in this game.
There's lots of mushrooms around. I don't know. and
Yeah, but
apples.
it's-
Well,
but-
it's a fantasy, Anthony. You can like live. You can.
I
you
am,
do
I
not feel
fan-
guilty about.
It's not that I feel guilty. I'm living it up as a meat eater.
hardy radishes and.
But
there's all
no, but
kinds of
it's
things
it's
that are-
more, but like there's the quest to get the thing so you can be in the cold early on. You have to
Yeah.
like make some dude a big old pile of meat
Yeah, you do.
I think
Well,
that's
no,
the,
not if it's a fish. It's fish and meat and
and something else.
I think that's the
forget.
only time I haven't killed. I don't kill any animals in this game.
Me
I don't
neither.
hunt at all. Because
I killed a
want,
bird.
I want those foxes to be there,
But-
and there's so
Oh
many
yeah, like,
mushrooms.
I've been
and
trying to feed the foxes and they
durians
won't fucking eat my
apples
food.
and stuff. There's just no point.
Do you know what the cool thing about this game is?
What's that?
You can ride a bear.
You can ride. A
Why
bear.
would you tell me that?
you can
Because I
ride
want
a
you to ride a
bear.
bear.
That's a fucking spoiler.
That- you just
You-
ruined the game.
You cannot register the bear in stables,
Yeah.
but if you find a bear and you sneak up on it, you can ride it.
Don't worry about it, Anthony. You may never find a bear because I played 50 hours of this game and I saw 2 bears.
All right.
So.
Uh,
Anyway,
All right. So
There's-
I have an actual.
once we're like comfortably done with this, I think we'll reconvene and do an actual podcast where we just talk
Oh,
about
yeah.
everything a little bit more freely. I think, like we actually talked about things that happened in the game, which is there's like listening to people talk about it and like the grand terms is really kind of a disservice to like how good it is on a smaller level, and just saying, people repeating like over and over and over again how there's like an infinite amount of things to do and it's a huge world and you can go anywhere and there's always something interesting, and none of that stuff is actually true. There's not always something interesting, but there's a lot of cool stuff, and
I really feel like they learned from Skyward Sword, which,
it.
like, again, if I haven't made it utterly clear,
Sword
I
is not a
fucking
very good
hated
game.
Skyward Sword.
I just want to make one request for everybody. Before you get like a ton of upgrades and like get 20 hearts and whatever,
Oh yeah, you were saying this.
go
to
do
that
Eventide Island, please.
Okay.
So what, like, without spoiling it, like, what? So first
He
of all,
can't tell
can
you
give
what
me
it is
some
without
direction about like
spoiling
where
it.
the fuck
Nope,
it is.
Nope,
It's-
nope,
No,
nope,
okay.
nope.
Don't say
That's the
anything.
thing. That's
I want to
the
talk
thing that
about it so
bothers me.
bad.
I don't care.
Once you
That's
learn
the thing that bothers me
You
most. Like it's like I don't give a shit about the story in the game,
Just
but
go
the
do
whole game
Eventide
is about
Island.
exploration, and I like really want to just figure out.
You can't
where
be like,
things are.
go do this thing, and it's like, oh hey, there it is. Okay,
And
thanks,
then people
Eric.
are, yeah. It's like but like less
So
so,
what-
but also like when people are posting like cool costumes and shit, I'm just like, man, I wish I just like was totally surprised by that. Like that
sorry.
surprise is what I like about this
I
game
don't.
so much.
I would suggest. And obviously, like I said, if you're not playing this, nobody's listening to this anyway. But it might be worthwhile for you guys, Joe and Anthony, to look up online where the climbing set is, because it's just like such a quality of life improvement that it might be worth going
I have
to
a
those
bandana.
shrines and getting those early on.
I have a bandana.
The effects stack as you get more pieces, so it's like a
Right.
huge. Oh shit. Oh shit.
But seriously,
I found one of those things that we were talking about. Don't watch the stream, Joe.
Don't watch the stream. Did you say?
I had a real great moment with one of those. I'm not gonna say what it is. You can see on the stream, but the first time I found one of those things
Yeah.
wasn't the one we were talking about earlier. It was completely random while I was exploring, and I was just like, holy shit.
Yep, the same thing happened to me. I found 2 in one day,
Yeah.
and I tried to climb on it.
I do think it's interesting, Eric,
it did
that
not
you're,
end well.
you're one of the people who's like most vehemently like anti-spoiler, alert, and
Not
like
worrying about
don't
it.
care about that, and you're just like, don't look at the stream. You can't see this thing.
Anthony, I mean, you might not care about it. Anthony does. I mean, you can watch it if you want. Like, it's just one of the
I'll
cool
talk-
random things that shows up. Like, for me personally, I don't care. Like that sort of stuff. I've made this comparison many times in the past, but like, if I see a picture of a cool like view on a mountain, like that just makes me want to go there more. It doesn't make me like go, well, like, fuck it, I already saw it, like who cares, right? Or when I hear something cool that happened in a movie, like I want to go see that. I want to experience it because it sounds like something interesting. Whereas if somebody just says to me, oh hey, this thing's really cool, but I don't want to tell you what it is because it'll ruin it, it's like, well, I don't know what it is, so I don't give a fuck. And so, like, for me,
I'll talk about
spoiling-
Eventide Island when Anthony leaves.
spoiling stuff is the inverse
no.
of like, it has the inverse effect on me. Like, if something's really cool, I want to know about it, and then I want to go do it myself.
I guess I see that point, and I kind of agree on some things. But like the thing you told Joe to avert his eyes on the stream about, like coffee, I just randomly happened
Right.
upon it, and I would not rob that feeling for anyone in the world, because I was just awestruck that there was that was in this game.
I wound up taking so many pictures of it.
I guess for me,
Yeah,
I was
same.
like, oh, that's a cool
And it's
thing.
like I don't want to accidentally take that from someone, because it's such a good feeling
Right.
to find something so cool.
I don't think it's that cool, but anyway.
Well, fuck you.
You have to have
pretty cool.
a certain experience for it to be cool. Like the situation I was in when I found my first one,
I'll be curious.
that was cool. But
I'll
then
be-
every time I find it again, it's just like, oh, it's that thing.
There it is.
I've had 2
yeah.
that I thought were really awesome. So I don't know.
But I mean, for like, I'll be interested. I'll be really interested to see how long Joe specifically sticks with this game because he doesn't play a lot of games like this.
But I play a lot of Zelda games.
It's
Right,
true,
at the end.
but
Right.
I mean,
this
I
is
played through all of
very different. So
what was the one that the good one, Link Between Worlds? Played
Yeah.
through all that.
I mean, that's a
played
great
through
game.
all of Twilight
That's a-
Princess.
but that's not that.
That's also like
exists, man.
10% of Breath of the
Right,
Wild.
that's the.
Well, if I stick with any game for 40 hours or whatever it took me to beat Twilight Princess, 40 hours or 45 hours, that's a lot for me. And like, if I get tired of just like running around
You
and
can just
doing
look
shit,
it
I'll
up.
just do the dungeons
Quests,
and go fight Ganon and be done with it. You
Yeah.
know.
Like I said, I play a lot of these games. This is like my favorite type of game at the moment, and like there are times where I keep playing because I have to see what's next, but at the same time, it's just like there's times where it's just like fucking I just don't want to. I know it's gonna take me a goddamn hour and a half to get to the place that I want to see, and there's just gonna be another fucking Korok that gives me another seed that does fucking nothing for me at this point.
Can,
and it's
can
just,
I be honest with you?
it was a goddamn huge waste of
No.
time to run over there.
I don't mind finding the Koroks. Yes, a lot of them are a pain in the ass. But that fucking jingle that they play when you find
good.
one is the greatest thing in the world.
You know what else is really good? The cooking jingle is fucking fantastic. I hate
Yes.
cooking. I love
Yep,
doing it
it
once,
is.
and then
It
I
is.
don't want to do it again. But
Yep.
the jingle is great.
I would like the cooking jingle if I didn't play Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter has the best cooking jingle.
All right, well,
And then when you cook your food, it says, "Wow, that's tasty."
yeah, I do wish that Link had more like Metal Gear Solid 3 type reactions when you eat food.
Yeah.
I think that would be a really cool thing if
If you spin him around in the menu, he throws up.
pretty tasty. That would be pretty all right. I don't know where I am right now. I've just been running around randomly, and I've totally
That's this
lost
game.
track.
I was gonna say that sounds like
Yeah,
what-
how's that any different from?
Well, usually I look at the map and then plot a course. Also, I kind of wish I wouldn't play it this way, but I wish that there was a version of this game that had an actual real ass map, not a video game map. And I don't mean the mini map; I mean the actual map. Like
Cloth
I wish
map.
that you had to pull out a fucking compass and triangulate positions, like in. There was a PC game that came out a few years ago called Miasmata, which is literally like
I played that game.
yeah, like that's how if you want to get someplace in real life that you don't have a map for, like there's nobody that tells you where you are on that fucking map. So you have to triangulate positions based on landmarks and hope that your map is accurate and hope that like some rocks haven't moved since they changed it, or else you're completely fucked. Like I kind of wish that mode existed for people that wanted it.
Yeah. Well, did you turn on pro mode at least?
No, because I want the
No.
mini map because I want to be able to see my markers and shit. without
See, I
having to go
really
to the
don't.
maps
Oh
screen
fuck! What
every
the
time.
fuck is that thing?
I don't know. What is it?
Sorry. It was
I
it
must
was
have
a
found
lizard.
an edge of the
It
world.
was a lizard
over
that
here.
was camouflaged.
You might have.
Yeah.
There
I
are a
found
few
another-
like bottomless pit areas.
Yeah.
This, God damn it! Like every time I talk
Um,
about something, there's like something else that it reminds me of, and I want to talk about it so bad.
There's all kinds of cool
But
shit. All
there's-
right. Like I said, we'll when we're all satisfied with this game, whatever that means for us in particular, we'll come back and we'll just go like balls out and.
Do you still
talk
want to
about
show
it
that
some more.
stupid thing?
Yeah. What is it?
It's kind of a quality of life glitch.
Oh, is this
Um,
the whistle, the horse whistle thing?
Yeah. So run forward and whistle, and as you're running, mash the sprint button. You kind of have to do finger gymnastics depending on your controls.
Okay. So what? Okay. Walk
So
forward.
while you're moving,
walk
whistle.
forward, hit the
Keep
whistle.
and then mash on the sprint.
Do I have to
while
keep
you're
whistling,
You have
or-
to keep whistling,
Okay.
You have to
This
keep
is going to be
holding down.
hard with a Switch controller.
and then mash the sprint button,
Oh, all right. Yeah, I see.
and you have infinite stamina while you sprint.
All right. Yeah, and Link looks like he's like holding his
He's
hands up to his face.
Biting his fingers. He's spooked. It's fun to do that away from fights because
He's
you're like, oh my god.
I ran to a band of black moblins that are just gonna fucking end my life now because I was whistling at them as I was running it right directly into them. So anyway, I like Zelda a whole bunch, and I'm glad Nintendo they fucking went out and did the thing, regardless of what my opinion of this is when I get done with it. So good on them for that.
Yeah,
Is there
for
anything
sure.
else, or
I
should we
think-
call it a?
I think we can call it a night at this point, just because I think there's like more to be played, and once like fewer people are nervous about spoilers, it'll be maybe a little more fun to talk about.
Yeah.
Give it like 2 or 3 weeks.
Or a year and a
Yeah.
half.
Yeah, I mean, I could. Like
be-
all I want to do in any free time is play this game.
Yeah.
But I'm also sad because I like this game so much already.
Yeah.
I want it to be there forever.
Anthony,
It's
you
he's
should've got a
big, but
Switch.
there is a limit to it. There is.
I couldn't
you want
find
the-
one, dude.
You told me.
You
I
You
told
will
to-
eventually.
I fucking
you'll
told you to
eventually
come
find-
up here, and there would be some
I
because
couldn't
nobody
go-
lives
I-
here that buys technology.
You should have bought 2 and brought it to me.
I didn't know you really
and
wanted one that bad, or I would have. There might still be some at Target. Do you want me to like stop and
If
look and
you
see?
see one, I would do that, and I would
Okay.
be sad because I'd have to start this game over at this point. But I would do it.
I've heard they may be restocking starting next week. So
Yeah, I'm sure there's not going to be like a dry run forever, man.
no, it's
Like,
not the
there'll be
NES Classic. They are actually restocking.
Actually, Anthony, a guy I work with ordered one on launch day from Amazon Prime Now, like the day it came out, and they brought it to our office like 3 hours later. Like,
Huh.
So
Well, I haven't seen any.
my
on
office isn't
Amazon.
that far from your office home, so
So what you're saying is that guy will give me?
no,
His
I don't
Switch
think
and
so.
then order another one.
Yeah.
I will say though that we played 1-2 Switch at the office, and that game is actually a lot of fun too.
Yeah?
Should have been a pack
Hey,
in.
tell me when it's $10, and I'm totally
Yeah,
there.
no, absolutely.
I kind of want to play Snipper Clips.
Yeah, Snipper Clips is actually the game that looks way more interesting to me.
I don't even know what that is.
Snipper Clips.
Snipper Clips is great.
I like the name Snipper Clips.
It's really hard to explain, but it's like a co-op puzzle thing where you're these two little
I like the
dudes.
sound of that.
You're these two little dudes that look like your thumbnails, and then they like can transpose over each other, and then the only interaction you can do is you can clip that shape out of the other guy. So like you can walk up to your partner and like tilt yourself and like clip him in half and make him into a wedge to like ramp a basketball into a basketball hoop. Does any of that make sense? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, kinda.
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense until you see it in action. But when you do see it, you go like, "Oh man, that looks like a thing that would be totally awesome to play." Also, I will say I've been playing this whole hour with the Joy-Cons separated and not in the controller, just in individual hands with my hands resting on my lap, and that is a totally comfortable and nice way to play this game.
I wonder if they're gonna.
As opposed to the plastic doohickey that you're supposed to lock these in, which turns it
Dog
into a
face.
fucking goddamn Dreamcast controller, and I hate it with every ounce of my being. It's awful.
I'm
When I
curious
get
if
when I
they-
get a Switch, I'm going to have to spend the money to get a Pro controller because I can't deal without having like a good and proper D-pad.
Just gotta hold them in your separate hands. It's actually really comfortable. I still think that the Joy-Cons are fucked up because the like the positioning on the right analog stick, particular with that being below the buttons that you want to hit, is like or directly below it is screwed up and sucks. And the positioning of the plus and minus buttons, which are like your start select things, they also really suck. It's kind of a reach and it's kind of uncomfortable, but maybe they'll figure something out between now and the next like revision that lets them change that or whatever. But
I understand the reason why they did it, because the whole like separate the controllers and hand it to your friend. But I
Nobody's
honestly
gonna do
think
that.
for the Joy-Cons, I kind of wish they just did like the original Wii U configuration with the 2 analog sticks on top, and then have
Yeah.
the Pro controller be like the regular S controller.
I actually like the Wii U tablet is really good in my opinion. I think that's a really comfortable controller, even though it's a little clunky. Like I said, the biggest problem with this thing is just how thin it is, and it's just really uncomfortable to hold it. Like when I play, I've been playing laying in bed or sitting in a chair with like 2 pillows stacked on my chest so I can rest the Switch on the pillows and then just like lean it back against my hands.
Have you tried using the kickstand on it at all and playing it like that?
I mean, if I'm gonna do that, I'll just hook it up to my TV, because at that point, that's what you're basically what you're doing, right?
I mean,
Or can you do
If
that
you're
and
playing
then
at home,
use
yeah,
the,
but-
the Joy-Cons? I haven't really had mess with the kickstand
I
much,
think-
but
pretty sure you don't need the Joy-Cons attached to the Switch to play it that way. Like, you can still detach them from the screen.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's totally fine. It just turns it into a little mini TV. But anyway, that's Zelda. I don't regret buying this Switch. Like I said, hopefully there's a bunch of indie games that come out for it.
The Splatoon beta test starts in like a week.
Oh, really?
man.
Already?
It's
Maybe I'll finally get to play Splatoon.
mid or
Fuck, I need
end
to get
March,
that.
I think. But yeah, it starts soon.
That's
Starts
good.
this month.
We're all gonna buy that and play it. That's gonna be the new Overwatch, right?
Splatoon.
Yes.
I mean, maybe. I have a thing that we can capture video.
I mean,
did
the
anybody
fact that
watch
it's
any of
part
this video? Did this stream look okay?
It looked alright.
Yeah.
Because this is like a cheap ass video capture thing.
Dude, a horse just kicked me in the goddamn face.
Did you roll? That usually happens to me as I'm climbing up a mountain, and then I lose 10 minutes of climbing process and like want to shut.
Did you
the
order him
game
to
off.
poop?
Do you
You
want to
can't. We've talked about
If we
this.
made that joke beforehand,
a tip for horses,
never mind
Joe?
then.
Since you're early in the game,
Sure. I think I'm about to
Alright,
try to break this one.
there's 2 horses. There's the dual colored ones, like the ones with the spots or like black and white and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Those are easier to tame, but they have lower stats. So if you just want a horse, go for the 2-colored one, the 2-tone one. If you go for the solid color, they're a lot harder to tame, but they have higher stats and higher stamina. So if you want to
This
go
one
fast,
has white hooves and a brown fur, or brown hair, and white hooves, and a
that's
black
going to be
mane.
one of the easier ones to tame.
but
So how
the
do you-
really the easy ones have like a modeled pattern to them, whereas the other ones are solid. Like you can get a solid black one with a white mane and white hooves, and that'll still be like a faster.
There are
So-
also secret horses you can get, but I won't say anything.
Well, there's one that you can get with an amiibo.
That's like, yeah, you can get that. That's like what basically that one is like, it has the best stats in the game, but it's technically just like every other horse. There are other horses that are a little bit more unique,
Of
but I
course,
don't
they
want
put
to
a good horse behind
So
it.
how do
I
I?
found one
How do
kind
I
of unique horse.
register? How do I register the horse?
to
or
You have
take
to
them-
bring it to the stable.
There's a stable that you can take.
There's
it
a.
to.
I'm at the stable.
There
Talk
should
to
be
the
a
NPC
there should
while
be a
on the
dude
horse.
there that you can talk to. That will.
Like, do I ride the horse into the? Oh, here we go.
Just talk to the guy at the front desk.
Yeah, you have to hold
Don't-
down one of the trigger buttons, and then that'll initiate talk mode when you're.
Oh,
on
there
the
you go.
horse.
Yep, I
I
got
think
it.
that's
There
a
we go.
holdover from Ocarina of Time,
Yeah.
and it's not like there is some other weird stuff in this game that feels like a holdover from the old games. But anyway, I'm gonna shut the stream off now.
All right. Good
but I
night,
like Zelda a
everybody.
whole
Thanks
bunch.
for watching. Yeah, same.
I don't know if anybody was actually watching, but
There are 3 people watching, but it may have just been us.
okay.
I think it was just us.
Um,
No. Why Signaling Y said, wonder if the Switch is going to have Wii level shortages. He assumes it's likely, and he said that the video quality looked fine.
Uh,
That's good. I'm glad.
I don't think it's going to have Wii level shortages. Though.
No,
I will say
like the
that. But I
Wii
think
had-
I think that it will be their most successful console, probably aside from the Wii. Like, I think it'll do like Super NES, NES.
Well, because it's a
numbers. Like,
handheld more than a console. I think
it
that's why
depends
people-
Yeah,
on
yeah,
the
so how
support
does it-
gets.
like
Like it's gonna sell regardless because it's Nintendo, but depending on how many third parties
Yeah, but
actually support it is
will
going
it
to depend
sell
on its
10
life.
million like the Wii U, or will it sell like 30 million like?
Probably not the first year, no, because the Wii U is novel, motion control easier
Yeah.
for everyone to
I
get
think
into. This is more just like a hardware thing, but I think once word starts getting out, it's probably going to start selling more.
I think upside for this thing is like 3DS numbers, which would be like a shitload of them. But
Yeah.
I don't like it's not going to do like DS or Wii numbers, I don't think, because like the Wii hit critical mass with an audience that just is not going to be
Didn't play
interested in
games.
this, right?
Yeah, they're not right.
But
But God,
but
being able to just take your console wherever you want, whenever you
Yeah.
want.
playing Zelda in bed feels like I'm getting away with something illegal. It's like doing drugs. Oh man.
That's a Jeff Grossman thing if I ever heard it.
Just never gonna leave, never gonna get out of bed, just gonna play Zelda, wake up and play Zelda, and then go back to bed until I get bed sores. It's gonna be great.
gross.
It's back in Black's quote.
But this could be the thing. Like if they manage to get the IDNIs on here like I want, this could be the thing that is the portable Steam thing that I've always said that I wanted. Except they will
Yeah.
never, the games will never be 45 cents like they are in Steam. But
Right.
anyway,
I'm just really hoping, and I think I mentioned this on Twitter, like, I don't want to see this, like, 2-3 years down the line where third parties were just like, oh, you're the weaker system. We don't give a shit about you, and just stop supporting it.
I don't
and then
think
it's just nothing but shovelware and indie games.
I think worst case scenario for this is that the developers that support the 3DS will continue to put out those types of games on here.
Yeah.
So you see like a lot of JRPGs and a lot of weird stuff, and because you don't have to worry about investing tens of millions of dollars in hardware to make a game for it. So I think it's going to do the thing that you want it to do.
I hope so.
Yeah, it's
The fact
cool.
that it's
like I'm
the
not
fact
I'm
that
not
it's
upset that I
portable
bought it.
is-
It's the ergonomics need a lot of work, and it sounds like people are having problems with the docks scratching things. And,
The
and I don't know
portability
that
is
I'm ever
enough to
going to
sell
use
me
it on
the
my
system.
TV outside of like the occasional stream, but as a thing that you hold and play video games on, it's totally fine.
My problem right now is just the cost. Cause,
Yeah,
like, yes,
$300
it costs
is
like
pretty
$100. If you want the actual things to use it properly, it costs more like $500. Getting the Pro controller and all that shit.
I don't think
So it's
for this game, holding the Joy-Cons one in each hand is a totally viable way, especially if you were somebody that had slightly smaller hands than I do. It would be even better. Like the Joy-Cons are pretty small.
I don't
but
have small hands.
Your hands are smaller than
I'm in
mine.
pain playing on the gamepad on Wii U, so I may need the Pro controller for something like Splatoon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you might want that. Anyway, good night.
Good.
Good night, everybody.